Hello and welcome. This is Dream the Professional Bomb, and on Facebook that's facebook.com/professionalbomb. In this video, I'm going to share with you, the differences between forex trading as well as binary options trading. So a lot of people have the misconception that it's as one and the same thing. No, it's not. Okay. No doubt on the binary trading platform, you can also trade forex, but it's traded in a different way. Okay. In forex trading, basically you profit when you buy low and sell high, or you sell high and buy low. Okay, and how much you profit depends on leverage, because in forex there's a thing called leverage. So the more you leverage, even if it's a small movement, you can still make a profit. However, okay, here's the difference. Okay, in forex there's such a thing as spread, broker spread, commission. So some brokers charge commission only, some brokers charge spread only, and some charge a little bit of both. So I'm talking about forex right now. So in many cases, I would say that the typical spread for forex is 1.5 pips. 1.5 pips is like the smallest movement possible in forex trading. And what that means, no, don't talk what I'm going to do. What that means is that in any trade, you are not in profit until you clear the 1.5 pip. Okay. Now let's compare that with binary options trading. Okay, so binary options trading is different in the sense that all you need to do is to be correct whether it's going to be going up or going down. As long as the price at the end of the 1 minute, if you're trading 1 minute or 30 seconds or 5 minutes or 30 minutes or 1 day, any time frame that you choose, as long as the price finishes higher or lower, and that kind of like ties in with what you selected. Okay, if you decide it's going to be going up and the price goes up, then you win. Okay, even if it's just like a tiny whisker. Okay, and if you chose down, at the end of the time frame, it could be 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 day, whatever, and it's down even by a little bit, even if it's like a pip or less than a pip, even if it's like half a pip or a decimal point, you still win the trade. Okay, so compare that to forex again. In forex, like I said, if you're comparing like apples to apples, let's do a 1 minute trade on forex and 1 minute trade on binary options. Okay, in 1 minute, if you pick an hour of the day where the market is moving very slowly, you have a very high chance that for the entire minute, the price is going to move into the direction and stay in the direction that you want it to be. But in forex, in that 1 minute, it could possibly move in that direction, but the movement is not big enough for you to even clear that spread. And as a result, if you close both trades, the binary and the forex one, at that 1 minute point, you will find that the forex one makes a loss, but the binary one makes a profit. Okay. Another difference here is that in the binary one, the time frame is preset. So you can set it to be a 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 1 hour, 45 minutes, 1 day, 1 week, whatever, and it's going to cut exactly at a given time. So you have to end it yourself. So one of the things that you want to pay attention to as you get more experience in trading is that there's this what do you call that, cause and effect theory that applies to trading as well. For every action, there's going to be a counter action. All right. So for every effect, there's going to be a counter effect. So for every move that goes up this way, there's also going to be a move that goes this way. So in a very slow-moving market, the idea is to be able to catch it 1 minute going this way and stop. All right. Whereas, in forex, if you have to clear that spread, what's going to happen is that you've got to probably take at least a 5-minute trade in a slow market so that it can go like up, down, and up and down and up and down and up and down, and hopefully after 5 minutes, no news has hit, no other external factors hit, and you're able to probably get out of that trade, known as a scalp trade. Okay, so if any of you out here have experience with a software called the Forex, what's it called? Forex Autopilot Turbo, FAP Turbo. I know, it's a stupid name, right? FAP Turbo. Yeah. So anyway, that was a scalping bot, and it works on the same principle. So they want to go for these small 3 to 5 pip profits. But to get the 3 to 5 pip profit, let's say in a slow market hour, it's actually do increase as well. So, like I mentioned, 1.5 pip spread, right? It's not always the case. Okay, in a slow market hour, which is also the best time for trading, sometimes that spread can go up from 1.5 up to 3, or even up to 5. So in order to get a 3 pip profit, you have to clear the spread plus the target of 3 pips. So in total, 8 pip movement. Can you do that within like 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes? Maybe not. And for that reason, a lot of people who use the FAP Turbo software, you can even go to their website. I mean, I can put a link down below if you want to check it out and you want to use it at your own risk. I'm saying that I wouldn't do that anymore. I know the sales copy looks great and it sounds very enticing and everything, but I've been down that route, and I trust me, you won't wanna touch that. Yeah, it's not worth it. No matter how many revisions, how many updates, it's still not worth it. There have been cases where a supposedly 5-minute trade has gone on to like 12 hours, 13 hours, and then made a huge loss. Instead of a 8 pip profit, it went into a 40 pip loss. So the risk reward is terrible. It's like yeah, one more thing, risk reward. Okay, so in a scalp trade, if you're doing the same method as scalping, 60-second time frame is scalping. Okay, if you're doing a 60-second time frame trade, comparing apples to apples, once again, like I said, one thing is that we may not be able to cover the spread, but and let's say if it doesn't cover the spread, if you're leaving the trade open to hopefully finish off in a profit, and it doesn't finish a profit, it goes in a loss, how much do you have to lose? Okay, the typical scalp, what do you call the cut loss is, like let's say for FAP Turbo, for instance, it's 40 pips. So for a reward of 5 pips, you're risking 40 pips. You're risking like 8 times. Okay, in what do you call that? In binary, okay, you risk. Okay, let's say let's put in numbers again. All right, so if you risk 5% across both, yeah, I've got a phone call coming in. I'm not sure where it's coming from. I'm gonna pick it in a moment. So if you risk 5% in both sides, in forex, you get less than 1% profit. You get like freaking 0.4% profit if the trade wins. In binary, you get 70% of what you risk. So if you risk, so forex you risk 5%, you get 0.4% every time you win. In binary, you risk 5%, but you get check this out, you get 3.5%. So it's very, very nice risk-reward ratio. And that's all, my friends, for this video. If you're unclear, do ask me questions. But I think what the best thing to do is, I have a link down below this video that allows you to get some. It says like collect your binary bonuses. So when you collect your binary bonuses, you actually go to a page where you can sign up to receive like tutorials and video series and ebooks and trading advices and market analyses, and you even get to get on professional trader webinars. I mean, I'm not a professional trader, but you get to get on professional trader webinars. How cool is that, right? All you need to do is just open an account, right? So it's really simple. Filling your, if you're wondering about what deposit size to use, I mean, like the smallest account to start trading live is just $200 on a binary. And in fact, if you're unsure, just fill out the form and check out the details. And I guess someone on live chat or someone from the company can actually speak with you to help you decide on what is the best way to proceed in this trading. You actually get your own personal trading map. How cool is that? All right, so that's all for this video. I hope you appreciate the differences between forex and binary trading now. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Good trading.